are there some common mistakes that people over 50 make when it comes to job search that age being what it is would actually, if they address those issues, would help them and help their employers not see their age quite so much? What are those things?
Well, being of a certain age, I have experience, with the age issue. So I think the flip side of age is experience. That's number one. Number two, if you're 75 years old and need to find a job, it's probably not going to be at GE. So the larger companies are probably not where you should be focusing. You should probably be focusing on smaller entrepreneurial companies where they will value your age, where they will value your experience. The more things you can do, the more attractive you can be. So depth and breadth of experience is something that should be focused on. So rather than, I think you just need to embrace the fact that you are the age you are, you bring the things you do. Clearly, there are things, a whole list of things, it's a growing list of things that I can no longer do the same way I used to 20 or 30 or 40 years ago. It's just a reality. So rather than fight that, embrace it. The other thing, and this is going to sound two things, very tangible. I know in the Boston area, the Boston Globe each year publishes a list of the best companies to work for. I recommend that be the list of companies you go after, because if they're the best companies to work for, they're probably the least likely to discriminate. So that's a tangible thing. The other thing is find a company where the founder or owner is older than you are. It makes it harder for them to discriminate. I did, and it's working out great for me.
How is that possible? No, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that.
It wasn't easy. It really wasn't.
All right. Let's talk about, though, some of the things that maybe older workers in particular don't pay that much attention to, or as much attention to. Yes, we've got great qualifications and years of experience. Do we have the same digital presence as younger people, including our LinkedInness? Are we always bringing our A game to the interview, or do we think, well, I'm super qualified, of course they'll see it? I'm kind of leading you a bit, but I'm wondering if you could draw our listeners'
Tony,
attention to
most
those
of the
things.
people that I talk to are over 50. I seldom talk to anyone in their 40s.
Okay.
They're over 50, they're over 60, they're over 70. So this is the new reality. People are working much longer than they used to. So here, again, trying to be tangible. If you have an AOL account, get rid of it. It tells the reader, when they see that your email account is AOL, it tells them that you're as old as you actually are. If you have 172 connections on LinkedIn, make new friends. 500 is the new 300. So little things like that will trick the reader until they actually meet you, in which case they'll then know approximately how old you really are.
Andrea, let's turn to you. First on the subject of age, then I want to broaden the theme a bit. When it comes to the interview and post-interview and salary flexibility, is that a stumbling block for any of our older workers, or is that a non-issue?
Well, I'll give you a good legal answer, which is it depends.
Okay.
So that being said, I think that I want
like
to also set out a little bit of a framework. So when you talk about ageism, you're talking about something that's illegal, right? So that's a form of discrimination. So that's the way you want to kind of just frame that one up. The other one is whether or not your materials, your collateral is outdated and depicts you in an outdated way, and that's to build on what Don is saying. Hello, AOL wants their email address back because it's 1980. right? And then the other one is the addressing the issue of overqualification, which I think points to what you're talking about in terms of, what is does a salary level make a difference? Does a title make a difference in terms of, more mature workers, if I can speak euphemistically? Yeah, I think that what we have to do here, if we're, of the over 50 or 60 set, is also control what you can. You can't control if someone is going to discriminate against you based on your age or any other sort of ism, right? But what you can do is make sure that your documents are updated so it looks like you're cresting, not that you're sliding down the hill towards, Miami Beach or something, right? So and around kind of the overqualification piece, I think that employers generally want to know if you've got a lot of experience, they want you to stay. So that's what gets lifted up. If you've got all of this experience, you've been a CFO, and now you want to be a controller, what are the differences between those two roles? And so there are ways that you need to prepare yourself for an interview, because that's going to be a question. So you have to go in prepared to kind of control the message around things that you can.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at something that's less than what I've done in the past, but I'm perfectly happy to do that, I don't think that I will become bored or, disenchanted or feel awful reporting to somebody who's the same age as my son, then, those are considerations that you have to make, and you have to go in to an interview situation prepared to address them in that way.